about devotion.
Yeah.
I think there's a treasure in it, and there is also, especially in the Western world, negativity and maybe also a big misunderstanding.
It's so beautiful, that word, devotion. Devotion.
Yes, so maybe
Sounds
you
beautiful.
can talk about it, what you experience, and what is your think about it.
Devotion is surrender. Devotion is every moment. It's the bum on the seat, it's the feet on the floor, it's the coffee in the hand, it's the feelings, it's your face, it's your eyes, it's your hair blowing, it's your ears and your necklace and the colour of your top and the colours behind you of York shirt. Devotion is this. What beauty. That's devotion, that's true devotion. And what the practice is we devote ourselves to the Guru. I can't say I'm into that myself. Like I'm not into that myself. I see life as the Guru. Life is the offering. But I can understand it because I do have this one person I work with, who I'm sure when I'm speaking about them, they're going to see this recording one day, and they will know I'm talking about them. A beautiful lady I work with. And she's had a lot of physical illness in her life. And it was so bad at a point that she could not move. She had a nerve disorder, you know, when your nerves go. And she was in a wheelchair. And she couldn't walk, do anything for herself because of the agony of the nerves. And she managed to come out of that, but that was 14 years of not being able to walk or do anything for herself. And then when she began to come out with it, she fell in love with me on YouTube. And she walks around. This is so. I love her dearly, and I totally love that she does this. She walks around the house, and she after 14 years of being in a wheelchair and not being able to move that much, a lot of negativity arose, and a lot of difficult thinking arose. So she struggles with the mind, with the negativity taking over, and she's doing so well and such an amazing job. But one thing she does is when she's walking around the house, she goes, "Lisa! Lisa!" And she says, like, it instantly brings joy no matter what hell's going on. And like, I think it's really good for her. Like, it's not that, I mean, maybe I am narcissistic. It's hard to tell if you're narcissistic or not. But, but I don't do it because I like her saying my name. I just think it's really beautiful. Like, so she does it on the phone, and then I can't say her name. I nearly said it then. Then I say her name like that. I'm like, da. Yeah. But it's really sweet, and it has a really positive, beautiful effect on her. You know, that's quite intense. 14 years in a wheelchair like that, and she's really opening and exploring it, and she uses it to help her in the personal level, bring in positivity. And to remind her of, she says that I remind her of her childlikeness. And I actually do it. I'm doing it all the time as well. Like, my personal character is finding positive things to do throughout the day. It's not that I'm putting effort into it, it's just a naturally arising. So I have a beautiful dog called Khaleesi, and I have many Khaleesi songs because I see her all the time. So she's under the table or in the garden, and I have many songs, and when I see her I sing the song. And that's like a devotion. It's like, you could say it is like this form of devotion. It's beautiful. And we got all different. We got the E, C, U, which is in French, here and U, nothing, but here and U. Actually, U is something in French, I don't know. Huh? Where? Oh, here and where. Oh, that's funny. Here and where, and then I get her little bottom. So she likes this, her ears go back, and then I do this to her bottom. I go, E, E-oo, E-E-oo, and then I stamp. This is really like, and then I go around like this. E, E-oo, E-E-oo. This is all day. And then she's, like, most of the time she's open for it. Sometimes she's like, fuck off, Lisa. I'm not in the mood. But most of the time she does the little march too. So she's all tail back and like this. Because the dog, when it's happy, it puts its bum to you. And it's just like... And we do this march. And that's like devotion. It's like my song of devotion. All day that's happening. Every time I say, ee-oo. And then I get other people singing it too. So my mum comes and she starts singing it. And then, what is it? I say something about her booty, her bum. I'm gonna get your boo-boo, I'm gonna get your boo. And then she does her little thing like, Like normally I've given her a little biscuit, so then she's off. I'm going to get your boo-boo. And she's all proud of herself. And my mum thinks I'm saying I'm going to get your bone. So my mum's now, I'm going to get your bone. I'm going to get your bone. So we get everyone, it's like a form of devotion as well. You know, like I'm not trying to put down mantras and the words. I'm sure they're a lot more powerful. I don't know so much about mantras. To my bone, I'm going to get your boo-boo. But it's the same type of thing. It's like this really beautiful, positive energy. I do it with the washing machine. When I'm sitting there having to wait for the washing machine, I start singing with the and then at the end, beep! I can't remember the song it does. It does a nice little song at the end, you know, when it's finished. So I start singing with everything, and that's a form. It's not really that I'm devoting myself to it, but it's like a celebration of this. And I think that's what devotion is celebrating. This is all we get. We only get this. I mean, forget about what we're going to get tomorrow or what it's going to look like tomorrow. We'll deal with that then. We get this right here, right now. In every moment, we get this. This is all we get. And it's like this total devotion to all of it. Like, wherever you're doing paperwork, which is the lowest form of my work, although I'm trying to make it higher, paperwork. I'm trying to bring it up. Paperwork, whether it be doing with Khaleesi, like every moment is celebration. Because even if you want to go into a negative stream and say how unfair the world is, or there's this, or what's the point? You can look at those things to recondition them, so you can look like we did the other day at the dark thoughts and try to recondition them. But at the end, this is all we get in every moment is this, which is miraculous. I don't mean to say that's not enough, but it's our fixation on the timeline is so unimportant. It's going to be the way it's going to be. You take care, this is Eckhart Tolle, I think, you take care of now and the rest takes care of itself. And I really think that that is true, because a lot of things go well for me because I have such a joyful heart. So like I live in France and I don't speak very good French. And sometimes the French are known for not liking if you don't speak their language. And so I try my best and it really works for me. Like I went into the post office and I had to send money to India and she gave me a form in French and I was like, and I said in French, I'm going to take it home and do it. I don't even think I said that well. I think I was like, je peux prendre la maison or something, ma maison, which is terrible French. And and then she smiles at me and she sits down and does it with me, because every day I'm building up this relation, not every day in the post office, but often. The French still send a lot of checks. You know, in the UK we can do it online. The French are like, you've got to send it by check. So we have to go to the post office a lot to send the checks. So I build up a relationship and she smiles when she sees me now. Not all the time, but that's, I think, sometimes because she's not happy. But most of the time she's very open and trying to help me. The same in the bank, and I bastardize my French when I go into the bank, like trying to do my best. And then eventually I pull out Google Translate. And in England, people would be so rude to you, but they're so polite and they're so sweet, unless I can't understand what they're saying. But in that moment, that's all there is this person in front of you, these two vulnerable beings expressing together. That's all we have, and whether it gets done or it doesn't, that's down to life. You do your best. You go in there and you try and move money, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I'm not perfect. Sometimes something gets me. Money's got to be got somewhere, or something's got to happen. It's not been done, and there's a moment of like, oh. But then here we are again, just here, just here. The heart is beating. The breath is going in. The eyes are looking. Some type of sound is normally always happening. And Khaleesi, I find Khaleesi also like her body and her physical presence, like a positive physical representation. Like something goes disaster, I look down and she's like, you win some, you lose some, Lisa. I forgot what the original question was. Devotion. Yeah. Devotion. That's the answer to that. E-E-O. E-E-O-O. We sometimes even do it on retreats. A few times I've got everyone doing that. Like, by the end of the retreat, they surrender and they're like, E-E-O. E-E-O-O. Not often, though. Thanks.